Good afternoon. Welcome to Inavate TV. I'm joined today by Rob from Q-Sys. Welcome, Rob.
Good afternoon. Nice to see you.
We are, and you. We are here today to talk about the newest spaces in Pro V. First of all, I guess it's the topic on everyone's lips. How have our working and educational spaces evolved with the rise of hybrid?
I mean, I think it's fair to say that with the coming back to the office, we've seen sort of a change in how we approach office working. You know, previously we would have a big estate of meeting rooms, various sizes. What we've probably seen is the move towards the high impact spaces, those spaces that facilitate the more complex meetings. So, you know, your training rooms, divisible rooms, your boardrooms, where that enriched experience, especially with the UC platforms now moving away from maybe more traditional codec platforms, is really important. You know, with that meeting equity, really trying to give the same experience that people in the meeting room would have when they sit at home now. You know, we've all been at home for the last couple of years on and off, and the experience provided by those platforms is really quite unique now. And how do we sort of bring that back into that meeting room space?
I know I can't remember a time when there's ever been as much discussion about the design of meeting rooms. It's great because everyone's really putting loads of thought into it. I know we're kind of forced into it because of the pandemic and stuff, but I think it's a really interesting time because we are looking to really delve into why these spaces look like they do, behave like they do. You mentioned high impact spaces there. Where are you finding these spaces in terms of like the vertical markets maybe?
I mean, I think it's fair to say that we've seen a big shift. You know, if we talk about collaboration, and maybe it's not collaboration, but how we engage with each other in the world, you know, previously we've been maybe limited to corporate and how that would engage. But if we take into education, for example, you know, that's probably one of the highest touch points of people in a space. You know, normally you'd have lectures of up to 300 people in one space, but they would all be in person. So now we've got to cater for those remote participants in those environments. And then how do we give that in a really good way, in a way that feels like you're part of it and you've got the good quality that you expect to be there? Education is a huge growth space. You know, we're seeing huge wins, you know, huge changes. Take the Royal College of Physicians, for example, they've got huge education space, but looking to use a lot of spaces in multi-purpose as well. So how can they diversify their space use and diversify the revenue streams? Selection of like technology that can do that is really important.
Yeah, I mean, especially that example you gave there, everyone I speak to is being asked for flexibility and flexible spaces. And it looks like technology is going to play a huge part in kind of providing that and stuff. I just wanted, where does kind of AV and control technology have to adapt maybe to fit into these kind of business critical and feature rich spaces?
I mean, a lot of it now is driven by the UC platforms, right? You know, everyone's sat on Teams, Zoom, Google Meet, and all the other various platforms in the market, which is driving a lot of how the technology fits around that. Working with those platforms is quite important. But the key thing is sort of moving with these platforms and with the flexibility and the fact that basically software, you never really know where you're going to be tomorrow. You could be a Teams house one day and a Zoom house the next year. I think it's really important that whatever technology is implied in these rooms is movable and sort of platform agnostic. You can sort of take that same investment. You know, that's really key. You know, long-term investment, how do you make your best return on the equipment is really important. You know, I think it's fair to say that there's still a fair way to go to sometimes really bring these UC platforms, and we're hoping to show some more enriched and fair to say enhanced integration with some of these key UC platforms at ISE this year.
So that will be a kind of a key focus on the stand, you think?
Yeah, I mean, we're really looking forward to showing how we can help as a platform, maybe than bits of hardware. I think when you come to look at AV estates now, you need to consider how you're going to approach it and taking less of the more piecemeal box on box and looking at how maybe more software can engage to present a better solution in the long term, and a solution that's flexible, which is important, as we spoke to earlier.
Yeah, I'm sure the Q-Sys stand will be one on a lot of people's lists of must visit ISE 2023. Rob, many thanks for your time. It's been really interesting. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Paul.
And keep your eyes on the website for lots more videos and Inavate TV. Thanks for joining us. Goodbye.